Howie's Distributing Incorporated Pallet Jack and Handcart Safety. Handcarts. As a rule, avoid walking backwards with a handcart. Remember the back care rule. It is safer to push than pull. Always maintain a safe speed and keep a handcart under control. Always park the carts in designated area, never in an aisle or other places where they may cause a trip and fall hazard or traffic obstruction. Handcarts continued. Use a handcart that is appropriate for the job and the load to be carried. When stacking items on the cart, keep the heaviest load on the bottom to lower the center of gravity. Balance the load forward on the axle of the handcart so the weight will not be carried by the handle. Never stack items so high that you can't see where you are going. Handcarts continued. When carrying multiple boxes side by side, attempt to stagger them to lock in the boxes. Be sure the items to be transported on the handcart are sturdy enough to be moved in this manner. Secure any bulky, awkward, or delicate objects to the cart. Handcarts. Plan your route. Beware of potential hazards to be encountered during the path of travel. Handcart injuries typically occur by getting your hand pinched between the handles and a nearby stationary object, so take care when you're working your way through tight spaces. The use of gloves can provide extra protection. Handcarts. Always maintain a safe speed and keep the handcart under control. Always park the carts in designated areas, never in aisles or other places where they may cause a trip hazard or traffic obstruction. Two-wheeled carts should be stored on the chisel with handles leaning against the wall. Pallet jack. Perform a basic pallet jack and workplace inspection at the beginning of every shift or before using the pallet jack for the first time each workday. At minimum, look for the following. Survey the workplace prior to use, clean up any spills, and move anything that could later be in the path of a moving pallet jack. Inspect the wheels to ensure they are rolling easily and do not have flat spots. Check the forks before loading to ensure they are not damaged or defective. Pallet jacks continued. Make sure there are no fluid leaks coming from the pallet jack. Test the controls, handles, levers, and horn on the pallet jack to make sure everything is working properly before attempting to add a load. Ensure the electric plug and cord on a motorized pallet jack is not missing prongs and the cord is not frayed. Pallet jacks continued. If any defects or issues are found during the inspection, do not operate the pallet jack and report immediately. Know the maximum load limit of the pallet jack you are operating. Never overload a pallet jack. Ensure loads are stacked evenly on the forks before moving the pallet jack. Inspect the floors where the pallet jack will be driven to ensure the path is clear. Keep loads as close to the ground as possible for transport. Pallet jacks continued. Operate the pallet jack at a safe speed. Start moving slowly and come to a stop slowly. Do not steer pallet jacks onto uneven surfaces and avoid steep inclines. When possible, push pallet jacks during transport. Pulling may allow better maneuverability, but puts considerable strain on the back. Pushing uses stronger leg muscles and keeps the back straight. Never try to stop a pallet jack with hands or feet. This could cause serious injury, especially with a very heavy load. Pallet jack. When transporting a load, keep the jack control in the neutral position. Watch for clearance on both sides of the load. Move slowly enough that you can keep the load under control. Do not ride on forks of the pallet jack or allow others to be carried. Do not stand on a pallet jack. Pallet jacks continued. When descending any ramp, always keep the pallet jack in front of you. Never pull the pallet jack down any incline. Slow down at aisle intersections, blind corners, and elevators. Sound the horn and give pedestrians the right of way. Unused pallet jacks are a major trip hazard. Pallet jacks continued. When not in use, pallet jacks should be rolled onto an area that does not have pedestrian traffic. Do not store pallet jacks in any areas where they block fire extinguishers, emergency equipment, or any exits. Park unused pallet jacks on a level surface with the forks lowered. This ends the presentation portion of the training. Now there will be a 10-question quiz. Question 1. As a rule, avoid walking blank with a handcart. Forward, A, B, backwards, C, sideways, D, on your hands. Question 2. It is safer to push a handcart than to pull one. A, true, or B, false. Question 3. When stacking items on a handcart, keep the blank load on the bottom to lower the center of gravity. A, lightest, B, tallest, C, heaviest, D, smallest. Question 4. Two-wheeled handcarts should be stored on the chisel with handles leaning against the wall. A, true, or B, false. Question 5. If any defects or issues are found during the inspection, it is okay to operate the pallet jack and report the issue after use. A, true, or B, false. Question 6. Never try to stop a pallet jack with blank. This could cause serious injury, especially with a very heavy load. A, brakes, B, hands, C, feet, D, B, and C. Question 7. When transporting a load, keep the jack control in the blank position. A, start, B, forward, C, neutral, D, drive. Question 8. Do not ride on the forks of a pallet jack or allow others to be carried. A, true, B, false. Question 9. Never pull a pallet jack blank any incline. A, down, B, up, C, around, D, beside. Question 10. Park unused pallet jacks on unlevel surfaces with the forks raised. A, true, B, false. This ends the quiz portion of the presentation.